Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. We are a spiritual community that seeks to be diverse and inclusive as we inspire love, work for justice, and grow together in beloved community. My name is Heidi Sumser, and I serve as this morning's worship associate. Our lay service leader is Elaine Bowen. Welcome to all gathered today, especially to our first-time visitors. Thank you for choosing to be here. As we quiet and center ourselves, take a moment to just breathe and enter into this holy space, allowing your mind and heart to open. We are blessed with the gift of this day and an opportunity to explore the relevance of reverence. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice to unite us in worship. It reminds us of the ongoing search for the light of truth, the light of justice, the light of love, and the light to guide us on our spiritual journeys. This morning, we invite Bonnie to light our shared chalice, and for those on Zoom, please light your home chalice. We share those words by Sarah Ruth Wakoye Davis. We light this chalice with an open heart. We light this chalice with resolve. We light this chalice with tears still fresh on our cheeks. We light this chalice in hope, a tiny flame we nurture. We light this chalice with reverence for this place, for these people, for this time. We light this chalice with all our souls longing to be who we are, to be who we will become, to be ourselves. We light this chalice in self-love, in giving love, in holy love. Amen.
A wise minister once taught me to relay a story by showing, but not by telling. Here's the beginning of today's story. I found this book, Reverence, Renewing a Forgotten Virtue by Paul Woodruff. It was buried deep within a carton of Reverend Stephen's library of books that he left to the church. With all of the sticky notes and flagged pages, and there are many, I felt certain it was meant for me to find as inspiration for a service. Clearly, it had meant quite a bit to him for so many passages that were marked. Well, try as I might, I found the topic as presented by the author inaccessible, and for my understanding, needing a less scholarly approach. But there was one little nugget that struck a deep chord in my introduction to reverence. In the first chapter, he writes that, quote, "Reverence is an ancient virtue that survives among us in moments of inarticulate awe." There it was, the inspiration, moments of inarticulate awe, which today we will try our best to describe and feel through our attempts to articulate reverence in word and in music. When we sing the Jason Shelton song, "Here in Reverence Now We Gather," what do we mean? If we understand reverence to mean a feeling of deep respect, admiration, or awe of someone or something, the question then becomes reverence of who, or is that whom, or what? In a religious context, one presumes it refers to a who, perhaps a deity or a god, either capitalized or not, or dependent upon one's definition of God. In a secular sense, there can be infinite objects of our reverence. During this service, I'm going to ask you to think widely and deeply about reverence and this question: what do you hold, whether in your heart, your hands, or your head, as reverent? What do you hold as reverent? In one word or in a short phrase, please write it on the card that has been provided and place it in the offering basket later in the service. Please, no sentences, paragraphs, or novellas. Just a short word or phrase for that which you hold as reverent. It is a time to quiet ourselves during these moments of shared silence, to connect with that which we hold to be of ultimate meaning in our lives. Some may pray, others reflect, meditate, or offer silent gratitude. Or you may simply be. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. The how does not matter. What does matter is taking time to wonder in the mysteries of life and hold what is most dear in reverence. Let us enter the silence. An inescapable part of our life's journey is loss, pain, and suffering. We take time to share these cares and concerns that are on our minds and in our hearts. If you are on Zoom and have a challenge to share, please use the chat box. Jenny Horvath is sad for the death of her uncle last week after a long illness. May his memory be a blessing, and may all rest in the beautiful memories of his life. Randy Bish has a concern for his brother, Brent Bish, who had major surgery resulting in a life-threatening infection. We send our love and our care for healing, which may be prolonged and difficult, but we are there with you and your family during this challenge. Lori Merkin McGee has a concern for all of the folks without power still, especially seniors who may be at home in their residences without adequate resources or those to help them. We think of all of them, including Lori's mom, who is safe at home with Lori, and for all of those, especially the impoverished in Cuyahoga County who are suffering greatly. Heidi Schaefer-Bish marks the milestone of 2 years since Connor recovered from a serious concussion. She recommends This American Life's episode, Swim Toward the Shark, that helped him tremendously. We are glad that he found a way to recover and are grateful. I am not seeing anything in the chat. In tech folks in the back, are you seeing anything in the chat? I am not. Okay. In the blessing of the beautiful day that today is, we know there are things that weigh heavily on our minds and in our hearts. But here in this space, in this holy, sacred ground, we lift up the sadness and the concern, and we hold it in a love that is centered by our caring, our concern. We offer our best thoughts, prayers, positive energy to all who may be suffering, with the hope, with the prayer, with the belief that eventually all will be well. Amen. Life also gifts us with joy, celebration, and wonder. We have experienced moments of awe and celebration in the preceding days that have lifted our spirits. If you are attending via Zoom, please use the chat box to share with us. Trudy Deal is celebrating with Stella, who turned 13 last week on their family vacation. Happy birthday, Stella, and welcome to your teens. It's an interesting time. On Friday, my parenting partner and I acknowledged 39 years of being together in marriage. In the spirit of the Olympics, I can attest that it has been a marathon, not a sprint. Here's to year 40, Bill. If there are other things that you would like to call into the community, please feel free to do so. Visit from your brother. Oh, that's wonderful. Where's he from? That's a long way. Oh, good. Well, we've had some nice weather, at least the last few days, minus the tornadoes and the flooding. Well, I am delighted you're all here today. Thank you. With gratitude for these and all of life's blessings, for this spiritual community centered in love, and for the beauty in life yet to reveal itself, we offer our reverence.
everyone to close your eyes while you listen or cast your eyes down. Lake Erie's shore, walking along the beach, feet sinking just a little into damp sand. Cool waves washing in and out. Eyes cast down, scanning for polished shards of glass, washed smooth, trash turned to treasure. Lucky stone, a smooth oval stone from my pocket, translucent if not transparent. A lucky stone centering me in the now, so smooth worries cannot stick. Returning home, it joins its brothers and sisters in the bowl of hope.
Thank you, Trish. Picture this. It was a medium hot, sunny July afternoon, not a cloud in the robin's egg blue sky. There were many people at the beach, some lounging on the sand, others playing in the clear, cool lake water. A woman was sitting with her family. She rose from her towel and slowly walked down to the shore. For a few moments, she stood ankle deep, noticing everything that was around her. The warmth of the sun, the laughter of children, the caw of seagulls, lapping of the waves, the stones beneath her feet. She walked slowly along the rocky bottom until she was waist deep in the water, calm, completely relaxed. She closed her eyes, lifting her face to the sun. She noticed it was suddenly unusually quiet. There was no sound of people or waves or even the seagulls. It didn't even feel like the water was wet. The only sensation was warmth of the sun. It seemed as if she was alone, but how could that be? Feeling overcame her. There was an invisible loop, ellipse flowing from her feet into the earth, from the earth to the water, through the water to the sky, from the sky into her body, down to her feet in an unending connection of all. There was an awareness of being more than a body, a human vessel, more than herself. It was then she understood that she was part of the universe with no beginning and no end, just being, connected to all. When awareness returned and she internalized the immensity of that realization, her eyes flew open. She heard the gulls, listened to the waves, heard people's voices, felt the wetness of the water, knowing she was more alive than she had ever been, knowing she was one with the universe, one of the universe. The woman was me.
April 8th, 2024. I'm standing in my backyard, my eclipse glasses on, watching the last sliver of the sun disappear behind the curve of the moon. Suddenly, I see nothing through the dark lenses, and I'm momentarily disappointed. I thought something was supposed to happen. Then I remember, you can remove your glasses now, dummy. As I slide the glasses off my face, I gasp. I see skinny tendrils of light surrounding a dark orb. It looks as though a black hole has eaten the middle of the sun. The world feels broken. For a moment, I'm disoriented. Am I still on planet Earth? I can't tear my eyes away from the scene. My husband is trying to get me to look at other parts of the sky where stars poke through, or to pay attention to the changes in the environment around us. But I just want to stare at the hole in the sky. I take a furtive look at the eastern horizon and observe a blush of pink dissolving into a dark blue sky. The background chatter of the birds has been replaced by the chirps of crickets and peepers. The critters and bugs are as confused as I am. The excited voices of my neighbors, their adult children, and their grandchildren echo across our yards. It's the longest 4 minutes in my life, and the shortest. I want to remember every moment and detail. I snap a few pictures with my phone, even though I know they won't look anything like the scene I'm beholding. And I will have to trust the truer picture in my memory. Eventually, my eyes start to feel an ache at the corners. Time to put the solar glasses back on. I watch for a few more minutes as the moon continues its course, slowly exposing more of the sun's luminous surface. The sky gradually lightens up again, returning to the strange sepia tones of the partial eclipse. I marvel at how little sun it takes to drive away the darkness. I find myself in reverent awe of the universe. It's not hard to imagine how ancient man might have interpreted this event as the act of angry gods. It was as unsettling as it was wondrous.
Listen to the song in your heart. Listen to the song in your heart. A song of love. Everyone has a part. Listen to the song in your heart. Listen to the song in your heart. Listen to the song in your heart. A song of love. Everyone has a part. Listen to the song in your heart.
From our poems and reflections, from the slides and from the music, it became clear to me that secular reverence or inarticulate awe is a sensory experience that engages all of our senses, some one at a time, and at other times, many of them simultaneously. What do I see? A sunset, mountain's majesty, a murmuration of starlings, a daffodil, an eclipse. What do I hear? Wind in the trees, child's giggle, raindrops, a cat's purr, seagulls. What do I smell? Freshly mown grass, sea air, baking bread, lily of the valley, a baby's head. Can there be reverence in taste? What do I taste? Chocolate, the salt of tears, a ripe tomato, the air after a thunderstorm. What do I feel? What do I touch? What do I sense? A beagle's ears, a feather, the sun, glass tumbled smooth by the ocean, a stone. Maybe with the beach peak experience and the solar eclipse reflection, there is a sixth sense which is even harder to describe than reverence. Perhaps that is best left as you know it when you feel it. It is challenging to speak of religious reverence when we, as Unitarian Universalists, are each on a journey, on our own path to a spiritual self and a better understanding of our place in this vast universe. As many people as are gathered here today and on Zoom, there are at least that many unique interpretations of capital G, God, lowercase God, goddess, the divine, that which has no name, and that which has many names. For many years, I was a self-defined militant atheist. I denied the possibility of capital G God or the God-goddess concept based upon the definitions of God I had been exposed to in the church of my childhood, and also from my understanding in the sciences of biology, chemistry, evolution, and physics. As a young adult, well into my 20s and 30s, it was somewhat surprisingly unknown to me that I had both the capacity and the power to define God from my own experience. At age 40, enter Unitarian Universalism and an explorable universe of spiritual possibility. One of the most profound revelations has been the comfort in knowing that there are more questions than answers, and that, for me, there is not one absolute cut and dried answer to every question. I am free, as we all are, to wonder and wander in the mystery, and I have learned to be comfortable there. Science used to give me every answer I thought I needed, but now I'm at peace knowing there are mysteries of the universe I cannot explain, that which simply is. I marvel at the expanse of space and how tiny my presence on earth is, but knowing also that I am an integral part of the cosmos. I marvel endlessly at the grains of sand on the beach, wondering what mountain on this planet or another they came from, but accepting they are just here, warming my feet. I marvel endlessly at the bits of sea glass. I have collected over the years jars and jars of sea glass because I love it so. I wonder, what type of bottle did it come from? Who was the person who held it last? How did it end up here with me picking it up? But I feel its smoothness from the tumbling of the waves and the feeling of wonder and awe of how it came to be. I am able to hold in reverence the known and the unknown by virtue of my faith. I share with you this brief and profound poem titled Reverence by Jordan Gihirio Nesu. In the dawn of days dwells the awe of reverence. In the thought of dwellers can awe be the thread. Within the small things, herein lies the pieces that make up the direction of things that exist. For the boulders at a mountain's mighty face are no more important than the stones that form the base. For it is in reverence that we craft love from awe. And there it was. Not a nugget from the book that I thought had all the answers about reverence. That final line, for it is in reverence that we craft love from awe. How holy and sacred is it that from reverence we create love. Love with a capital L. The love of our shared Unitarian Universalist values. Sherry Woodbury writes that, quote, love is the center and the foundation of this faith. Indeed, I believe that is so. From reverence, may we find ways to craft and share our centered love with each other and with the world. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be.
Will the ushers please come forward? This community thrives in our shared ministry because of the gifts of money, time, and care each of you so generously gives. Thank you. Each month, we also support a local, state, national, or international organization that aligns with our Unitarian Universalist values. Our August special collection supports the Nature Conservancy, an organization that works to advance effective, lasting conservation in more than 70 countries and territories worldwide. The offering will now be graciously and gratefully received. Please remember to place your card with you that you hold in reverence in the basket as it comes to you.
For flowers that bloom about our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet, for song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or
Thank you, Katie and Vanessa. It's lovely. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and in our minds in reverence until we are together again. We didn't do, did we do the, yeah, we did the thingy, right? Okay. At this moment in time, in this gathering of souls, these are what you hold in reverence.
Colors on a very colorful card.
Laughing and singing with children and youth.
Appreciation.
Both sides of grief, the losses and the recovery.
Family.
Respect for elders.
Photos of deceased relatives I never knew.
The beauty and splendor of nature.
Ancestors.
Connection.
God.
A feeling of well-being and awe.
Holiness. Old growth forest.
The life force that dwells within the mouse and within the thistle.
Silence.
Critical thought.
Life.
Dawning.
The power musicians have to feed my soul. The ocean's ability to calm my anxiety.
Awe. Sun plus moon equals eclipse.
Nature.
Kindness to all, exclamation point.
Love.
God.
Plant growth.
Mystery with a capital M.
Exemplars of our highest values.
The eclipse.
Being loved unconditionally.
Peaceful valuing and presence of body and mind.
Kinship.
The memory of a first kiss.
Watching my children's nurturing and compassion.
As we depart this day with the thoughts of all this which is held in reverence, remember that what we hold as reverent is sacred and holy, with love at its center. Amen, and blessed be.